Hello everyone, this is Mr. E299, and today we're back talking about Batman McDoomGuy, aka Goblin Slayer. Uh, this is the episode where we finally get to see Goblin Slayer's opening, and I gotta admit, I'm not really a fan. Uh, Goblin Slayer is a really hardcore anime. I would have preferred if they had really done something metal, but you know, it is what it is. Can't change it. But anyway, we get this really cool shot of in the opening of Goblin Slayer, the priestess, and some other characters who have not yet made their appearance. Maybe they'll be significant, maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, go read the manga. It's really great. But yeah, in this episode, we also get to see a bit of Goblin Slayer's origin, and we get to see what made him the way he is. We get that Batman X trauma. That's why I call him Batman McDoomGuy. But let's get to it. Also, I want to mention spoilers. I will definitely be doing spoilers in this episode review. So let's get to it. Uh, in this shot, we see where Goblin Slayer lives. He actually lives at the farm of a childhood friend of his who he knew when he was a kid. They let him stay there. He pays rent, and he also makes sure that the farm is safe because he gets out every morning at dawn and he checks to see if goblins have been nearby. You know, he has gotten really good at detecting whether or not goblins have been scouting out an area. Anyway, he goes through his morning routine. He has breakfast, and you get the sense that the uncle of the girl who owns the farm isn't all that fond of Goblin Slayer. He doesn't like him living there. You can tell. Sorry for my voice. I've got something cut in my throat. But anyway, Goblin Slayer tells him that he's going into town to go to the guild to get some quests, and the girl accompanies him into town. So we see when they get to the guild that everybody kind of looks down on Goblin Slayer because he only slays weak monsters like goblins. They don't understand how important it is because there's really no fame or glory. Goblins, to the experienced veterans, aren't really tough opponents. So the fact that he only kills them, uh, you know, they don't really respect him for that. And he uses cheap equipment, and that's something that they look down on. Goblin Slayer is not flashy. He's effective. He's effective at what he does. He does one thing and he does it very, very well. But anyway, he meets back up with the priestess because they have actually uh, formed a formal party. So now they're going to be working together, and we get to see that Goblin Slayer has been teaching her about the habits and routines of goblins. That they are more nocturnal creatures. So one of the best times to strike is early morning when they are all just getting up from sleeping. But anyway, they take some requests and they go to this wooded area where apparently a goblin nest has been formed to go take it out. And you can see inside the goblin nest to show us the shot a bunch of goblins celebrating and dancing around the bloody corpse of a dead and almost certainly violated woman. What these bastards don't know is that Goblin Slayer has them in his sights, which means they are now already dead. But after this, we get a bit of a flashback to Goblin Slayer's village. On fire, you know, under siege by goblins, his friends and neighbors, being assaulted and killed. And we actually get to see the massive trauma that Goblin Slayer suffered. And when you consider that he was just a kid at the time, it's horrible, absolutely horrible. We see here a kid that would eventually become Goblin Slayer, hiding in a closet after watching his sister be killed and raped by goblins. Not necessarily in that order, but yeah, he watched that because his sister made him hide in the closet so nothing would happen to him. And You know, that's the thing that would traumatize a person. That would turn somebody into Batman McDoomGuy. And, you know, we see after having his home destroyed and watching his sister be violated in that manner, we see how he became obsessed with killing goblins and nothing but goblins. Uh, we see that a bunch of adventurers, porcelain rank adventurers, who had taken a quest to slay goblins, you know, they came back alive. So not every goblin slaying party ends in tragedy the way it does in the first episode. These guys managed to succeed where the first party failed, and with less people too. So they probably didn't make the same rookie mistakes of splitting the party. You never split the party. That's something I learned in D&D. But anyway, back to goblin slaying. Goblins were in a wooden fortress, so instead of running in and murking those sons of bitches one by one, he decides to set the whole thing on fire, shooting flaming arrows at the fortress. And, you know, of course, the first instinct of the goblins is to, you know, run out, escape the flames, escape the smoke. But the Goblin Slayer obviously anticipated this. So what did he do? This is the part that I love. He had the priestess cast a spell of protection on the door, which erects a protective barrier, and because of that, the goblins can't escape. So they are essentially dying of smoke inhalation and fire. They're being burned alive. And I like how Goblin Slayer finds a way to use a holy spell to murder goblins. You know, he will use any and all tools at his disposal to kill these suckers. That's really enjoyable to watch him find creative ways to do that. But after the ending theme, which again I didn't really find all that enjoyable, but it's whatever, we see a minstrel telling tales of Goblin Slayer to a crowd of people. And, you know, you've got this like little puppet show animating the minstrel song and tale. And it turns out that the Goblin Slayer is actually quite famous for all the towns and things that he saves, because he doesn't really seek fame. He just goes in, you know, saves towns, kills goblins, and then leaves. So the kind of legend has been formed about him, also because the fact that, again, he only kills goblins. But the Song of the Minstrel has attracted some very interesting characters that we see are searching out Goblin Slayer. For what reason, we don't know, but obviously this is going to lead into the next episode where these characters will most likely run into Goblin Slayer and will play a more prominent role in the story. God, I love this. God, I love this manga and this anime. It's definitely one of my favorite fantasy animes that I've read. It's got the brutal action that I love, set in a fantasy world that I also love, and it's got the creative fighting that I love. I couldn't be a bigger mark for this anime, but yeah, I give this episode a definite recommend. You guys might like the opening ending, where I didn't, but again, it's whatever. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I've pretty much set to do the entire series, so there will be another video next week. This has been Mr. E199, and I will see you all later.